What's up guys, it's Josh here from KeepItTechie, where I help you learn Linux and break into the tech field, one command at a time. And in today's video, we're going to talk about two really underrated commands, and that's the group command and ID. These are simple, but they're powerful tools when it comes to understanding user access and security on a Linux system. And trust me, if you've ever been locked out of a directory or wondered why you can't run sudo, these commands can give you the answer. Now, before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. It really supports the channel and help me keep making videos to help you level up your Linux skills. So let's get to it. Okay, so here's the deal. Linux uses users and groups to organize access. Every user belongs to at least one group, usually their own personal group, and often several more. Now, these groups decide whether you can read, write, or execute certain files. And the group command tells you which groups a user belongs to. And you guys should be able to see the man page. This will basically give you an idea of what this command is for. So prints the group a user is in. There's the synopsis and a description of how to actually use it. Now, the ID command gives you deeper info. For instance, here is the man page for it. It prints real and effective user and group IDs. And it's super cool because it'll show you the group IDs for all the groups you're a part of. Now, why does this matter? Because permissions in Linux are always tied to owners and groups. And if you know your groups, you know your access. Now, why are these useful commands? Let's break this down in some scenarios. So let's say you're troubleshooting sudo. You can't run the sudo command. You can do a quick check with groups and it'll tell you if you're a part of the sudo group. Now, let's say you have a shared project on, let's say, a remote server, and multiple people might need access to a folder there. You confirm group membership with the ID command. And then also security auditing. This is important for system admins. You can check who's part of sensitive groups like Docker or Will, and debugging file access. If you keep getting, let's say, a permissions denied, checking your groups often explains why. And then also, this one is super important, automation. Scripts can use the ID command. There's a couple options in there, and I'll show you guys some examples of that, but this will help you to decide behavior based on the user running them. Now, let's go down and quit out of our man pages right fast, and I'll walk you guys through each one of these commands. Now, we don't need both of these tabs, so we'll just go down and clear right here and clean it up for you guys. Now, let me show you guys the base level of this command groups. So we type groups, press enter. What it's going to do is pull the groups this user is a part of. And as you can see, there is a Josh here. This is not the user. This is the actual group that Josh is in. It has a group that's typically named after the user. And each user, when you create a new user, it will create a group with that name as well. And typically the ID is the same for both the user ID and the group ID. And I'll explain what I mean a little later. Now, these are the other groups that user is in. So they're part of the admin group, CD-ROM group, the sudo group, the DIP plug dev, LP admin, LXD, and Samba. Now let's go down and show you guys another group. And the only other group I have on this system is the root account. So we'll just run it against root, but we can simulate it by just running that. And as you can see, the user is part of the root group, which is fine for the root account because it basically has access to everything. But let's run it again, and I'll run it against Josh. So you can specify a different user on the system if you have access to look at their groups. But if you run groups, and then let's say instead of Josh, let's say that's John. So let's go down and press enter, and then it will show you that John is the user account and then John is the group. And then we got admin and all the other groups that John is in. And I'm just using this as an example, but you could do this if you had another user on this. And just to do it, let's go down and do it right fast. Let's do a user add, and we're gonna add a John and press enter. And then actually I have to use sudo. I forgot about that. So sudo user add John, and let's go down and run our account just to quickly add something else there. So we have another user named John on the system, and let's just run it the groups command against John, and what you'll see is really nothing for John. He's not part of any groups. He's only a part of his own group. which is John. Now let's go down and start using the ID command. So I'll clear right fast and that way you guys can see, but we'll use the base command. So ID, enter, and just like before, it'll run it against the account that we're using at the moment. So we got the UID, which is 1000 for Josh. The group ID is 1000 for Josh. And like I was saying, both the user ID and the group ID, they should be the same. But sometimes you'll run into like an off ID, depending on how long the system has been up, how many users have been created, and groups have been deleted or something, it'll reuse a group ID. Now, as you can see, we got our groups over here. So yeah, it's part of the Josh group, like we seen up here. And then we have the admin group. See, these are all the group IDs for all the groups that have been created, and they're based on services really. So like when the system was actually installed, a lot of these groups are done during the install, and it depends on the install process, it'll create the ID. So hopefully you understand that. Now let's dig a little deeper into the ID command, because like I told you guys, I like using the ID command in scripts. So there's a couple options I wanted to show you guys. So if we put ID-U, and we can pull our ID itself. So you can use this in scripts. So this will be the user ID for Josh. And like I said, sometimes this group ID may be different. So you could use the ID command to pull whatever the group is as well by putting ID and then lowercase g, so -G, press enter. Now let's say you want to look at all the group IDs for a particular user or whatever user you're looking at. You could put ID -G, and this will pull all the IDs in one single line. So as you can see, they all line up to up here. So we got 1000, 4, 24, 27, 30, 46, 122, and 135. So you'll see all those group IDs there by using the G. And so I just wanted to show you guys that, just so this can help you with pulling this information for scripts. Now, let me show you guys how to pull the group names only using the ID command, because you could do that using the ID command. You just have to put -U and then G, and this will show you all the group name. And sorry about that, I keep wanting to write the IP command because I use IP so much, but let's run ID and then -U, G, and it cannot print only more than one choice. So that's interesting. I know I've ran that other places or other distros, and actually this is a good time to go look at our man page again. So let's go man ID, and this will tell you exactly what you can do. So let's see, name, user, print only the effective user ID, and looks like I figured it out. We just need to use -N instead of -U. So let's run it again, and let's put N and then G. And that should pull, yes, there we go. So that'll pull all the group names for us. And like I said, that's why it's beneficial to use those man pages, or at least understand how to get to them, so you can modify your commands to pull the information that you need. So I'm glad that issue kind of popped up, just show you guys how to troubleshoot something and get it to work for what you need. Now, let me show you guys how to use this in a simple script. I use grep. Let's specify a user. So let's go with Josh, and then let's put a pipe, and then what we're going to do is grep and search for one of the groups that we are in. So let's say we're looking to make sure we're in the admin group, and so all you got to do is put admin, because we know that ID-NG is going to pull all these group names. And so actually I'm glad I looked up there, because it's not admin, it's ADM, but that means admin group. And then let's go down and echo out if this user is part of the admin group. So let's go echo, and then let's put some quotes, and then let's go Josh is a part of admin, and let's go and press enter. And as you can see, there we go. It checks basically here. It pulls all of these right here for us, and then searches for ADM. And then it echoes out. I mean, it's just a quick script example. I just wanted to show you guys something that you can use this command for. Now, let's say you're doing a little auditing, and I'll show you guys a different command. I know this is not the ID or the group command, but this command will help you if you're doing like the auditing of your groups. Let's say you want to look and see who's in certain groups. So let's go gtent and then group, and we want to look at anyone that's in the admin group. So let's go down, press enter. And what this do is look at our groups file that's stored under etc, and it'll pull out the information based on the group that you're searching. You can also do this for the account, but as you can see up here, ADM right now has system log, and this breaks down the ID number right there and everything. So syslog and Josh has access to that admin group. Now let's check the sudo account. This is just a simple way of checking it out, and you'll see that Josh is the only one part of the group. And then let's try another one right fast. So I think it's CD-ROM, and Josh is part of that group as well. And you can combine that with ID for quick checks and everything on your system. Now, let me give you guys a couple of tips and best practices so you guys can take full advantage of these two commands. Now, remember the difference. Groups is fast, but ID is more detailed. Now, it's definitely important to check groups before editing permissions. And sometimes you don't need to chmod, you just need the right group added to the user. Now, a quick security tip, be cautious about who's in groups like, I don't know, Docker or Will. These can effectively give root level power. And then automation tips, scripts often use ID-U or even that -G if it needs to know the group to make sure they're not being run as root by mistake. So that's the group and ID command. They may seem simple, but they're essential when you're troubleshooting access, managing teams, or just trying to understand Linux security. Now, I encourage you to practice these, run them on your system, check out which groups you belong to, and maybe explore groups you didn't even know you were in. Now, if this video helps you, go down and hit that like button, subscribe to KeepItTechie, and drop any questions in the comments. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and of course, keep it techie. Yo, what's up, y'all? Listen, if you've been sitting there thinking about making a move, let me tell you, tech is where it's at. I don't care where you're coming from, whether you've got a degree, a GED, or just pure hustle. There's room for you in this game. You see, tech is more than just keyboards and code. It's solving problems, creating opportunities, and building the future. You already have what it takes because tech doesn't care where you start. It cares where you're willing to go. You can teach yourself Linux, learn Python, break into cybersecurity, or even launch your own app. And the resources are out here for free. And yes, you heard me, free. Now, yeah, it's gonna take effort. You'll have to grind, but think about this. The time is gonna pass anyway. So why not invest it in a skill that'll change your life? I mean, tech doesn't just pay the bills, it opens doors to freedom, stability, and generational wealth. So stop doubting yourself, start small, stay consistent, and keep building. Because this isn't just a career, it's a movement. And guess what? You belong here. So let's get it, because the future is yours to build. Keep it techie.